Previous video, I got really fucking pissed at this game, and I have a very good reason why. I literally looked it up on the websites, and I just uninstalled the game, reinstalled the game, loaded my file up. Not only did I just beat him no problem, I beat him no problem, I came back, reloaded it, leveled up, and beat him in one hit. Because he got glitched into the ground. This game's coding has a big issue in it, everybody. So it's not the fucking console, it's not my controller, has nothing to do with my handling of the game. It is outright the game's code. This guy right here, he's not supposed to deal half your health in one punch. Maybe if you're level 5, he's able to do that. He was glitched at a level 26, even though it was reading level 18. There are 4 other people that have had this issue, and it seems I'm not the only one who's fucking irate at this fucking game's lack of goddamn continuity. The consistency of all of the dodge mechanics does not add up. Also, the bosses are rigged. Outright, the bosses are rigged in a hard mode. Just letting everybody know. It's not you. It's not the fucking balance of what you're doing. It has nothing to do with your gear. No, it had to do with the game's code and design. I'm sorry, but this is really fucking annoying to me. I myself, who is going to college to make games,
at least one skull escaped Fergal's wrath.
It's appalling that somebody would sit there, add a mechanic, then take that mechanic completely out, and make the game such a glitch fest.
The poor creature is bleeding to death.
That you can't even play it. I have to uninstall and reinstall it for it to glitch out on me. Not even act right. And even then, it's not the same. For everybody who plans on making games in the future, please, if you add a mechanic, leave the mechanic. If you're going to add the mechanic and tone it down, don't take it fully away. Because you're going to make people not want to play your game. It takes away replay value, guys. It outright takes away replay value.
This is our domain, not yours. You've been warned.
Wait.
I didn't end my stream last stream because I was mad. I ended it because I was fucking irritated with the game working the way it's out.
Go back to the streets and houses. There is no love lost between
us. Absolutely asinine. And I've already sent a fucking ticket off to Don't Nod. And again, I'm not going to get a response, but at least I noted something. I'm going to go through these last little choices, everybody. I'm going to try not to talk and rant, but I'm going to go through these last little choices, try and clean this chapter off, and then get off. Because I'm sorry, but this is fucking bullshit, everybody.
The shelter is where we live.
I'm Jonathan Reed. I'm a newborn Ekon. I'm afraid I'm not sure what's going on.
I shall not bend a knee, young Ekon, but I sense your pain. Ask, and I will afford you my attention.
So was it you that Sean Hampton sent me to find?
Perhaps. The sad saint was always kind to us. He must trust you if he revealed our location.
He was turned and is now a skull. I'm not sure he can be trusted anymore.
And why is that? Because he's a skull, he shouldn't be trusted. Who are you to judge?
Sean killed a patient of mine. And that's just one of the murders he's being hunted for.
If you refer to Harriet, she is now among us and under our protection.
Harriet Jones is alive. That's it. That's the proof Sean wanted me to find. I must talk to her.
No. Harriet is not alive. But you can speak to her. I must warn you. She is fragile and may not receive you warmly.
I don't understand.
She is filled with bile and hate. Her mind is sharp as a tack, but her body is so weak. I've never seen its like before. She is resting in a room on the far right of this hideout.
Thank you. I will bear that in mind. Hello, Harriet. Do you recognize me?
Yes, you were from the Pembroke Hospital. The young doctor. So full of secrets.
I've so many questions I need to ask you, Harriet. If you would.
I love questions. As for the answers, you may not like them.
I have a question of the utmost importance to ask. Will you answer?
Questions, questions, questions. The good doctor, always searching for answers.
Do you remember what you did after leaving the hospital? Did you kill anyone?
First, a question from me. You answer first.
Very well then. What do you want to know?
Are you like me? Are you also dead?
We are not dead, Harriet. Death no longer pertains to us. We are different.
I like what I am. I truly do. I relish the pain that courses through me.
I know you fled the hospital with Sean Hampton. Did you or Sean kill anyone in your flight? Anyone? Try and remember.
I will not lie. I wanted blood, and I wanted revenge, and Sean pulled me from it, brought me here instead. But the shadows heard my prayers. The shadows killed that bastard.
Shadows? Tell me what you saw.
The shadows, they heard me and answered. Something in the deep darkness, quick, deadly. It asked me if I wanted revenge. I answered, yes.
And these shadows, this presence, do you still hear it? Was it a vampire? Did Sean see it?
It spoke only to me, and now it is silent, but it is born of hatred. And it will kill again. And it hates you, Doctor. Oh, it hates you.
What makes you say that?
It whispered your name, Dr. Reed. It wanted to know who you were and where you went.
Questions about me? What did you say?
Nothing, Doctor. I said nothing. There was nothing it didn't already know. Oh, I'm tired now. Let me rest.
Have you found the answers you were looking for, young Ekon?
There is too much left unanswered. So many questions.
Get to know us. Spend time with us. And I may be willing to answer more questions.
What manner of creature is Harriet? She is different from everyone else.
I really don't know. I'm not even certain she is a skull. I've no idea as to what blood made her.
What is a skull, in fact, in your honest opinion?
The progeny of a vampire, disavowed by her maker. Perhaps a fruitless branch of a noble tree. A word used to enslave us. I cannot say.
You mentioned that vampire blood has tremendous potency. You believe it to be stronger than your own?
The vampire's sweet blood. That rich, dark wine that we crave. For it made us, and it can sustain us.
I thank you for your time, madam. I must go back to Sean Hampton now.
Your kindness has been ample payment, Ekon. To protect us, I'll close the access to our hideout, but you can use our shortcut to reach Mr. Hampton's shelter. Just follow the arrows.
Thank you, old Bridget. I hope we'll meet again. Are you all right, sir? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same question. Don't you know this is a quarantine zone?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm investigating the epidemic. You had better get to a safe place while you still can.
Oh, really? We'll go investigate somewhere else and leave me be.
I beg your pardon?
I said go. Leave me alone, sir.
No more words. Please.
I cannot enter.
We're at your mercy. Will you end us?
It's locked, all right.
Welcome back, Dr. Reed. Would you like to take communion with me now?
Sean, are you eating raw flesh?
It is the sacred flesh of the mortal lamb. Our Lord's bountiful transmutation for the sustenance of his believers. Thank you, Lord. I am your most humble servant.
So, true to your word, you waited for my return.
I told you, Dr. Reed, I was a man to be trusted. Did you have words with the poor Harriet?
This shelter is the tip of the iceberg. You hide your game well, I'll give you that.
We are God's children, Dr. Reed. One and all. And he's determined to save us.
Harriet, Miss Jones, has been behaving in a most violent manner. She's going to need special attention.
That's precisely the reason I brought her here. To meet old Bridget. She's the guide Harriet requires.
Harriet is possessed by her hatred. You cannot let her roam free. She's dangerous.
She has joined her own kind, Doctor. Old Bridget is a saint to the younger Scals, guiding them to salvation and peaceful existence.
I believe I've learned all I need to know. I'm certain you've killed no one, but one day I believe you'll cross the line.
Logic is a false prophet. Faith is the only path to salvation.
What do you mean?
We have been blessed with God's eternity. We are the instruments of his divine will. We shall feed the hungry forever and ever. Amen.
I haven't the luxury of being able to satisfy my hunger on staunched blood and lifeless flesh.
Give yourself over to God, Doctor. Expel your urges and kneel before the Lord in praise.
These urges... You know the hunger will never be satisfied.
I've come to embrace the everlasting craving. I have sworn to feed only upon the flesh of the dead. It is now my sacrament. Take, eat. This is my body. So saith the Lord.
I really would like to believe your fairy tale. The good ghoul feeding upon the flesh of the dead. But I'm all out of innocence.
Do you question my faith, Dr. Reed?
Do you remember William? Oh, how his admiration for you was exceeded only by his hunger.
May his soul rest in peace.
A night will come, and you will suffer the same hunger. Someone who trusts you completely, a friend, will die never to wake.
You confuse your voracious appetite with my itchy hunger. I would never kill a friend, nor an innocent.
I believe you've discovered our defining difference.
No! No! Ah! I did... Ah!
Another corpse thrown in the streets. Someone's playing a very sick game. I know this brooch. This is my mother's. A birthday gift from father. "29 Pretty Orchard Street. That's near Poplar's district. Why would this man carry off my mother's brooch? I must go there.
Glad to see you again, Mr. Reed. My poor sister. What will happen to her now that I'm gone? Giselle, I'm so sorry.
You again?
I've identified the men who stole from you. You were right. They were members of some self-proclaimed militia.
I knew it! Did you find the money too?
Yes, here it is. They thought they could finance their activities with it.
I never thought a man like you would be kind enough to... I misjudged you. Badly. Well, thank you, sir.
Will you give the money back to your comrades, then?
Fuck those bastards who fired me. I'll give the money to Miss Gillingham. Her son Jack was a friend of mine. He was killed recently.
Giselle, tell me about the death of your mother.
After our father died, Mother worked so hard she made herself sick. We spent all the money we had on useless drugs and doctors. It was hell.
Hell? What do you mean?
The three of us were exhausted and desperate. And when I'm desperate, I tend to get angry. And I'm hard to live with. Lottie said I killed Mother.
Your sister was suffering too. I'm sure she didn't mean what she said.
I don't want to talk about that. It was years ago. We Paxton sisters are tough. We don't apologize.
I know you were friends with Miss Gillingham's son, Jack. Tell me about his death.
Jack's murder has been a shock to the neighborhood. A sign that the situation is now out of control.
Why is that?
There has always been tension between the Wet Boot Boys and members of the trade union. But a murder? That's a first.
Who killed him?
No one will ever know. One thing is certain. While Jack was alive, I had one less reason to drink.
Why does that upset you so much?
I wish I had found the time and words to tell him how important he was to me before it was too late. Another failure for Giselle Paxton.
Giselle, I know you sleep at Shornhampton's shelter. What can you tell me about him?
He provided a roof for me and my sister. I am grateful, of course, but he gives me the creeps.
Why is that?
He's always sad, like he's about to cry. He's always asking us to get closer to God, to give ourselves to the Lord. Creepy.
of life. I only managed to be hated by all the people I loved.
Steady, boys! We've got one of them! Greenwood, shout for me!
Without the wet boots keeping things straight, these parts will be running completely amok.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again.
Can I offer you...
Giving it.
Perhaps... Goodbye, Miss Cox.
Welcome.
Do you need any... Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely.
Evening.
to cause a
I must...
Welcome back.
Do you require...
Don't feel...
Take...
Tom.
Goodbye, Miss...
Welcome back, Doctor. What can I do for you? My pup, Sabrina, my friends. What will they become without me? If only I could tell her, tell them. Too late, too late.
You still working at this hour?
Tell me, Sabrina, do you really believe Tom has renounced his life of crime? And you don't think he might fall back into his sordid ways?
We can all do terrible things, Dr. Reed. And we never know what we're really capable of until it's too late.
I know you've been learning...
I just want to feel safe when I go home at night.
Guns are not toys, and are certainly not to be handled when one is agitated.
I don't care. Next time some drunk bastard tries to drag me into the yard, he'll be the one bleeding. I don't fear you. You did not defeat me. I was Sabrina Cavendish. I did not surrender.
Without the wet boot, things straight, these parts will be running completely at home.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Do you require... What can you tell me about this part of town?
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and thieves, all of them.
Are you thinking about someone in particular?
No. Hate them all. Especially these petty, whining little shitbag beggars.
Is there no one who deserves your leniency, then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his trap.
What's your occupation?
I take care of my mum. That's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her so good.
You seem upset. Is something bothering you?
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot. A worthless idiot.
Sometimes it's hard to be a good son.
I just want her to smile. No, I was thankful for her patience, appreciated like... God knows she deserves it.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
Fog's been hiding them of late.
Evening, Rufus.
Evening, Mr. Reed.
Do you need help?
A real doctor caring about me. That's a first. I feel like a real person.
A real doctor treats everyone the same, Rufus.
I don't know what to say. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
How come you consider it your only friend?
I found Jack when he was a baby, alone amongst dead rats. Poison, probably. He was the weakest, but he survived. Just like me with my parents.
Like you and your parents?
When I was 8, my parents died in a car accident. Rumour says I didn't get a scratch. So what they said about me was true. I really was Rufus the Curse, destined to suffer until I die.
I'll come back when only one person's in. Good evening, madam. I'm Dr. Reed. Could I come in?
Why? What do you want?
I work at the Pembroke Hospital. I'm investigating the flu epidemic in this area.
Oh, the Spanish flu. Well, that's quite liberal of you, Doctor. But this is no time to be not...
The disease takes away the good people too, madam. Why not let me in?
It's Mrs. Fishburne. Stella Fishburne. And yes, indeed. Why not let a doctor in? Please don't stay too long, sir.
It's locked, all right.
So you have questions about the flu, then?
Yes, among other things.
Forgive my rudeness at the door. It's just my son doesn't like strangers coming in the house.
The orphan that regards you as a mother. Please tell me about him, Stella.
You mean Rufus? I wish I could do even more for the poor boy. Most people are so selfish.
But you're not.
Years may have passed, but I haven't forgotten how it feels to go through days with nothing but an empty stomach. Should I have turned my Seymour in? Was my crime to love my son?
Good evening, Mr. Fishburne.
Yeah.
Seymour, why are you scaring young Rufus?
I don't like his act to gain me mother's trust. I don't like it at all. Little bugger is like a fly around shit.
You can't blame...
I don't believe in kindness nor innocence, sir. The boy is either a fool or a hypocrite who hides his hand well.
Why is your mother protecting you, Seymour?
I'm her son. She's the only one who knows me.
I understand you love her.
Do you think my mum would have a better life if I were dead?
Death is an appropriate
It might be my mum's wish that I end up swinging from a hangman's noose. But she wouldn't want to be the one who ties a knot round my neck. You tricked me good, Doctor. Tell me, who will take the blame for your murders now that I'm dead?
I'm gonna find out who. You again. What do you...
Do you need...
Yeah. Some fair...
Goodbye, Mr. Digby.
I'll take it. Die, Vampyr! Don't like that, do ya? Lee spotted! Watch out for...
Good evening.
Haven't you...
Yes, I know about Corcoran's death. I'm sure...
Dr. Swansea has asked me to replace him. Dr. Tippett's, I mean. Since he considers I was already doing his job. Dr. Tippett's job. But without the official title, of course. Sorry.
Do you require...
I will be fine.
No.
I'll try...
Goodbye, nurse. Good evening.
Have you seen...
No more.
This is no laughing matter, Dr. Reed.
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
I would have been...
Good evening, Dr. Ackroyd.
You're the last person that I want to see right now, Dr. Reed.
I see that you are as friendly as ever.
Are you really going to ask me why? That would just be more evidence of your selfishness.
Do you need my...
Don't be ridiculous.
Then you are lucky.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed. We do not see you in surgery very often.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later. Good evening, madam.
It's my son who needs you.
I'm Dr. Jonathan...
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother...
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening, Mr. God.
I'm okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
I have to go.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I'm okay.
Tell me about
I don't want to.
How painful.
So painful, I'd rather not talk at all.
I'm sure you really...
Not really.
I see.
Yes, maybe.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Jonathan, at last. I've been worried sick. Have you solved the case of our poor Sean Hampton?
Don't worry, Edgar. The reputation of Pembroke Hospital is secure. Sean Hampton was not the guilty party.
Is that true? Oh, good news. Good news indeed.
I found Harriet Jones. She's much the same old, embittered woman she was, only she's been made a scowl. Her transformation did not go well.
Incredible. Well, why not bring her here? We could learn so much by studying her condition. It would be fascinating.
Were there any studies made by your order on the subject?
Not that I'm aware of. I will transmit your discovery to the Brotherhood's primate. He will be delighted.
I doubt that. She can barely move. Perhaps we could learn more about the degeneration of skulls.
Perhaps. But she could also belong to a new species. We know so little of the laws that dictate vampire reproduction.
What do you know of the Ascalon Club?
Not as much as I would like. There have always been rumors about a secret society of vampires operating in the interests of the British Empire, though I've never met a member.
I crossed paths with one. A terrifying creature going by the name of Fergal. He was sent by the Ascalon Club to exterminate the skulls of the East End.
By the stole, Jonathan. If vampires are eliminating their own progeny, then dark times are upon us. Darker than I've ever witnessed.
Do you think Lady Ashbury would know of them?
Jonathan, our beloved lady is not one for social dalliances, nor the assemblies of dark orders. She's a woman of superior taste and selective acquaintance.
Does the name Old Bridget ring any bells?
I've never heard of her. Why? A patient of ours? I must confess, I don't know them all.
No, it's just someone I recently met. A fascinating woman. I had thought that perhaps...
By the stole, Jonathan, you've met another vampire. I would appreciate an introduction, if that's the case.
A pleasure, as always, Edgar.
Everybody, I am totally done now. I've gotten what I've wanted to get. I'm gonna go ahead and okay. I'm gonna make sure that I got all my stuff set aside for when I pick up this next time. Cause yes, I am gonna pick this up again. I'm just I'm gonna make sure that I uninstall and reinstall it every time before I start my stream. Because that right there seemed to fix all of the problems I was having. I was able to dodge, I was able to attack, I was able to move, and all that nonsense, but I'm still gonna go through and simply uninstall and reinstall the game every time I try to start the game. So let's look at this. Tom's revolver. A decrease reloading time or increase damage. Let's increase the damage. Add more stun. Add more damage. So 20 stun, 189 damage. It's not bad. So that's better than this one. Giselle's dagger. Okay, there's that. Just give it all blood points. Screw it. Damn. Bergamot. There's that. Alright. On that note, this is Galliant Gaming. I'm signing off. And again, if you're gonna be a game designer and you're gonna give somebody a mechanic or an advantage or something, and you want to make it less powerful in a harder playthrough, don't make it the dodge mechanic, because that's how you lose people playing your game, and that's how you lose replay value. Other than that, I'm signing off.